This is
Inner Circle.
Well, guys, welcome back to the Inner Circle. My name's Brandon.
I'm Tyler.
And today we're going to be talking about Tonya. Yeah, Harding.
You've been watching too much anime.
Tonya-chan. Nah, besides our weebish tendencies that will destroy us emotionally in the long run. We went to go see an Oscar nom movie because in our little town of Statesboro, as many of you know who are going to Georgia Southern, it's very seldom a very unique artsy movies.
Yeah, we don't get indie movies here. No. We had to go back to Macon or drive to Poole or Savannah to get these.
And if you want to get really artsy, the one location is Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When we had to go to our anime movies, we had to go to either Atlanta or Jacksonville, both of them 3 hours away.
I think the only place around us that played Disaster Artist, for example, was
we forgot about that one.
Yeah, Disaster Artist is so good. But one thing I want to bring up about Tonya, which is what we're here for, is that I forgot what it was nominated for, but it was nominated for something. It was very. I really enjoyed it. It was like I told Tyler this right after the movie ended, just to get our general impressions out of there. It was it had me so invested that I forgot that my friends were around me, and that I was so into it that I did not care. I was like, I want to see, even though I already know the ending. I didn't know the beginning and the middle.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Brandon, when did you get here?
Yeah, that's honestly what it was like.
I thought Tonya was here.
Yeah.
But for a movie with such a small budget, how do you feel, honestly, about it? Because I think they did very well with a small budget, and the only one part that me and you did complain about was they used our hometown stadium, Macon, Georgia, and they used it for multiple events. It could be from San Francisco to Baltimore,
and it'd
Maryland.
Be the same
ceiling, same everything. And we knew it because it is one we have been to many times.
Well, I'd honestly say I had barely been to the Macon Coliseum, especially when it's like for ice skating. So I thought it was just obvious in its own right. Because the thing is, like, it's a very distinct ceiling, and they kept putting prominence on it, and I'm like, stop it. And they had the same seating, the same numbers on the different hallways that's in multiple scenes. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're in the same place. It is so obvious you're in the same place.
The only thing that changed was her attire.
Yeah, even the seating arrangements for the judges was the exact same.
Even the banners on the side was the same thing.
Okay, I will say the banners on the ring were different, but
for the Olympics ones.
No.
But the ones two before, I thought they were the exact same.
No, they were different.
Okay.
There were minor changes, but they were different. Different sponsors. But that's like the one thing they changed besides her attire. Yeah,
but like
it's still bad.
I'm imagining they did all of that in just one day, and they're like, "All right, we need a bunch of people to just sit here all day and cheer, and we'll give you $20."
Well, you said it was like when you said you did research on this, it was like a month, like late
January,
late February.
Yeah, it was from late January to late February, and they I think did callbacks in Atlanta in May or March, one of the M's. Yeah, but in 2017, and I'm guessing it just took a year to edit. Which honestly, post is the biggest thing of a production.
Yeah, post and pre are just like, but like production, it's like you go in already knowing you got your permits for your locations.
You got your script, so you know everybody's
you got your development, who you want to be. You already have casting done. Now to go into the deep nitty gritty. Many people who were not us, who watched the news in the '90s, were familiar with Tonya Harding and all of her escapades of being accused of knocking out Nancy Kerrigan's like knees when it wasn't really hers, her bodyguard and her boyfriend. Although that's one thing about this movie. It's called Tonya. It's all from Tonya's perspective, and it loves to remind you of that.
Even at the premiere, I'm pretty sure. Tonya Harding was there, but her ex-husband was it Jeff and Nancy Kerrigan were not there. So I mean, I can tell that's something they probably hold to. Like, you won out of this. Like, we got nothing. So it's whatever. But I feel like they should have been there, but I also understand why they weren't.
Yeah, because it's kind of embarrassing, and it definitely is Tonya Harding's perspective, so they definitely know that they're going to get made fun of. Tonya is presented here, because it's from her perspective, as the innocent victim. Even though in real life it might have been different. In this perspective...
Nobody knows.
In this perspective, we are looking at Tonya like a beaten horse. Like, honestly, she is just tossed around. Her mama's a crap bag. But essentially, like, we have a douchey husband who punches his wife, and we have a bodyguard that's useless and a fat slob.
Yeah,
I want another.
Who starts saying like he's a special forces operative
and
or
that's
something
a
in
real
Russian.
thing.
Like, yeah, like and
I thought it was just a joke for the movie.
I did too, but they showed us the interview at the end. Whenever we realized it did happen, we just died out laughing.
Yeah, I thought that it was like generally it was like taken from like real things that happened, but I thought they kind of
tweaked it.
Yeah, because it's a representation. But then at the same time, no, some of this stuff happened that had us busting out laughing. You got to admit, like when they in their 24-hour news cycle, this was probably the biggest thing ever. Like these are like cartoon characters. Some of them. Yeah,
that was the most entertaining thing that had ever happened. And I love how, like, since we're talking about it on the news, they even show that, like, O.J. Simpson, his stories was the one that had to take over before they were dissipated in the news. So, I mean, you could tell it was big just through this movie, if anything.
Yeah, I will say that's actually the reason why last week me and my mom went to go see Phantom Thread was because my mom was like, I already saw the story, I already watched the news, I already lived through the 90s, I'm good. But then I feel like there's something very unique because I don't know why, but I watched a documentary on the Tonya Harding situation, and it was way more objective than this one, obviously. But even then, the way this was shot was just so cool. The fact that anytime they had a present day shooting interview with the characters playing their respective roles, that it was 4:3 ratio. Did you know?
Yeah, I like that.
That was really cool.
It was like for a 1990s kind of look, but also it's just like updated. So it's keeping the times together, I feel like. So do we want to move on to characters?
Tonya Harding. We're going based off her perspective. And so all these descriptions of characters are how Tonya defines them. Jeff just kind of lives off her success, beats his wife. But I'd say any other character is just kind of fits their role. The mom is very dynamic, but then again, from Tanya's perspective in this movie, she has very little redeeming qualities. Yeah. Like at the end, it's like, I thought we'd have the resolution of your basic tough mom scenario where she's like, she's from that outdated mindset that's like, I'm being a meanie to you for
a reason,
for you. And you see that in a lot of movies that take place like going over the lives of people who grew up in the 70s or 80s.
So let's see, who else? Nancy Kerrigan. I'm surprised they didn't focus more on her.
Well, it's like, it's not really. I'm imagining since this time she's tired of all the sympathy going to her. Maybe I get to see it analyzed as that.
Well, not just specifically in the like getting beaten in the leg case, but when Tonya starts talking about how her and Nancy were friends and all that, it's like one quick 5-second scene of them just drinking a beer together. I'm like, okay, you had a beer together. This will make you friends. Yeah. Like, you got to show a little bit more, and I was surprised that was all they did, but when I saw the budget, I'm like, maybe not. They probably didn't want to pay that woman any more money.
Well, it's not like she's like she's not a Margot Robbie.
Yeah, no.
Margot Robbie's where the big bucks were probably going towards. By the way, she's very talented.
Yeah, but she's also a producer of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like, she has the potential to do a lot in this industry. Oh yeah, and she's like, it isn't just her looks that are getting her places. I like that. Yeah, but story, just it's Tanya's perspective of news events that if you were living through the 90s, you knew.
Look it up.
It's on what's that place called? Wikipedia.
It's on YouTube. Wikipedia. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Just find your info. Read a book.
Read a book, people.
You freaking uneducated swines. Okay, now. No, but like.
Oh goodness.
Okay. What? Okay. What is it? Final thoughts at this point?
Yeah, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Great movie. Definitely. If you see I, Tonya in theaters, it is Oscar season, so they're throwing even in rural areas. They're throwing these Oscar nom movies. make it like a cool trip, like once every week. Try to knock them out.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, since this is an Oscar nom movies from 2017 that are here now. Lady Bird, Three Signs Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Anything else? There's a bunch of Oscar nom movies.
Yeah.
Darkest Hour.
Darkest Hour, yeah.
That was very well produced, even if it
is the Post up for any Oscars?
It's getting Picture of the Year. It's
okay.
Which I don't think it deserves, but that's
probably
okay.
not. But
yeah. But see you guys.
Well, I didn't give my final thoughts. Jerk trying to loop me behind. I Tonya, good movie. I really enjoyed it.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
I think it's.
I give it. That's my opinion.
Asshole.
I'm just an asshole.
But I think it's great for people of our age and like that weren't around in the 90s, or we were around, but we late 90s, didn't know much about it, to go and catch up. It's definitely a good way to tell that instead of documentaries, it's something that you can be easily entertained by and keep up with.
What's your score out of 10?
7 to 8. I'd lean more towards 8.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, okay. But, alright guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.